Good morning.
Good morning.
How is everyone this morning?
Excellent.
Beautiful. Welcome to Tucson New Thought. Sorry, I just had a moment of of swallowing my own, choking on my own saliva. Have you ever had that happen? It's the worst thing ever.
Never choked on your saliva.
I'm grateful to know that. Let's begin the day with our opening song today, One Big Family. All right, come on up. Okay. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. All right. Oh, I love music, and today's I'm going to be talking a little bit about my musical journey, a little bit, and it's all in perfection of everything that's unfolding in my life and changes that actually came about in my own concept of how this thing called ministry works from Carriemon's amazing meditation on Wednesday night. And I'm re-inspired in a different way than I was previously, and I'm so grateful for that. So thank you for that. Welcome to Tucson New Thought. We are here as a spiritual community to know one thing and one thing only. And I ask you, do you know what that one thing is? Love. Yes. We are here as love. We are here expressing as love. From the energy of love, we are expressed. And I look at love as a synonym for God. It's all one thing. It's all one creative energy. And when we truly take this to heart and understand this, then we get to really do what our vision statement is, which is to create a world that works for everyone. We engage our vision statement through our mission, which is to provide practical tools for personal transformation and awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. So I welcome you, and I'm so grateful to know that you have decided to join us here today. You're right in front of me, so I'm going to keep looking at you, because I know that this is your first time here, and I'm not going to make you stand, but I am pointing you out, so there you go. But I think that we all have a message for Miriam today, right? Do we know a particular truth about Miriam? Let's let Miriam know this truth. You are magnificent. That is the truth. And we know that truth about Miriam because we inherently know it about ourselves, and we see reflected in other people the inherent truths about ourselves. So let's claim for ourselves, I am magnificent. I am magnificent. And let's share with our friends and neighbors their magnificence by greeting them, letting them know how magnificent they are. And I want to say to everyone who's watching online, I recognize and know that you are magnificent, and I'm so grateful that you've decided to join us here today. And you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Yes. So as we come back to our chairs, as everyone is putting on their name tags now. Excuse me. The next order of business, and I don't even like to think of it as business, the next decision that we live in is a ceremonial honoring of religious paths and faith traditions the world over. We have engaged in this particular ceremony to help us each understand the inherent oneness that is the through line of all religious paths and faith traditions, that all of them are grounded in this thing called love. And so for each candle that we light, we are honoring this very notion. So we first light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the divine will of love as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light a candle for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are holding for them and for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony. And the final candle we light is your candle. This candle represents the healing of any circumstance that requires divinity to be revealed. It is your candle for whatever is in your mind that requires illumination. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. right here in this moment. I take this opportunity to recognize and understand that there is only one infinite power. There is only one infinite presence. There is a power for good in the universe, and each and every one of us uses it because we are it. Right in this perfect moment, trusting and knowing that we are each of us in this perfect flow of light and life and harmony and wisdom and peace, power, beauty, joy, I trust that the time we have chosen to be together here in spiritual community is a time that is good, and it is forward-moving and evolutionary for each and every one of us. Trusting this, knowing this, allowing this perfection to unfold as it will, as it always does, I live in the secure knowledge and faith that all is well, life is good, and for this I am truly grateful. With gratitude filling my soul, filling my entire beingness, I let it be as I release this word to law, knowing it is so, as together we say, and so it is. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Hi. So since you've come in, in the and sat in the front row, I want to. Sorry. I'm so grateful that you're here. This is my friend Caressa. Caressa actually is the reason that I'm in New Thought. I've talked in the past about being involved in a production of Angels in America that took me to the NoHo Art Center for the first time, which was the NoHo Art Center for New Thought, and is where I came to know James Mellon, and 6 months later decided that I was going to be a minister. Caressa was the director of that production. Yeah. So I'm really excited that you're here. All right. If you would please provide for me a number between 25 and 423. 87. Today it's 87. Wow, that was fast. 87. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A number between 1 and 6. 5. Okay. Oh, perfect. Things are ideas in form. What else could they be? There is nothing from which to make things except ideas. In the beginning, we behold nothing visible. There is only infinite possibility, a limitless imagination, a consciousness. The only action of this consciousness being idea. Well, you've hit it on the nail today. As we have begun a month where our theme is cultivate creativity, where does creativity begin? Creativity entirely begins in mind. And so everything that comes into the form, everything that comes into our being, everything that comes into existence first began as an idea in mind. That's the fundamental premise of this teaching, because there's only one thing going on. It is God. It is love. It is a creative energy. And each and every one of us individualizes this creative energy. So whatever ideas are coming into our mind, from this infinite oneness, whatever we attract into our mind, we create in our experience in one way or another. Now, does this mean that every single thought that we have creates? No, thank God. Right? Thank God, because I'll tell you, there are some thoughts that I really am grateful I have not created in my life. It's funny, we were talking about Game of Thrones before the celebration today, and that's an idea that I would choose not to experience in my life, is the happenings on Game of Thrones. But it's an idea that has come into conscious creation through narrative storytelling, right? And there's a purpose behind all of it. Now, each and every one of us are storytellers in our own right. Do you believe that? I mean, when we meet people, our inclination is to tell our story, isn't it? And there's a reason why we want to tell our story. It's because there's that creative impulse within each and every one of us that keeps the story alive and keeps us evolving into the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. I tell my story a lot. And in fact, you're a part of that story, Caressa, right? I tell that story a lot because it speaks to that natural evolution that each and every one of us is a part of. Things are ideas in form. I actually could have stopped reading the paragraph there. Things are ideas in form. If you are looking to change your life, the first thing we need to look at is what is happening in our minds. That's it. That's it. If you want to know what's happening in your life, if you want to know what's happening in your mind, that's what I mean to say. If you want to know what's happening in your mind, look at your life. If things are not going well, there's one place to address that first and foremost, and that is in our own mind. And as we change our mind, as we change our thinking, as we change that belief, the things come into being in a different way. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this in the proper talk, and how we can move from the critic to the creator. And sometimes doing that, we're moving through being a critical creator. So there's a lot more to come around that. But I would like us all to look at the cover of our handouts today. And we've got a brand new affirmation because it's a brand new month. And let's read together the affirmation. I will read it first, and then we can read it together. Today and every day, I cultivate my own creative spirit with love and kindness. Let's say that together. Today and every day, I cultivate my own creative spirit with love and kindness. One more time. Today and every day, I cultivate my own creative spirit with love and kindness. I'm always challenged to know what to sing each week, but this song seemed in perfect alignment today. I see my sister. She's like, oh, yes. And if you know it, sing along. Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions. And rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. But I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on a morning star? Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it, and look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? What do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. All of us under its spell. We know that it's probably magic. Have you been half asleep, and have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. Is this the sweet sound that calls the young sailors? The voice might be one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. La 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 da dee. Thank you. I've given a lot of thought to that song in the last 24 hours. And, you know, some of it seems a little not quite in alignment with what we teach. The main thing is we're all of us under its spell. We know that it's probably magic. And the reason I say that we don't necessarily align ourselves with that concept is because we don't believe in magic, right? We believe in truth. We teach truth here. We teach that everything that comes, like I said, everything that comes into our experience, everything that we experience is the expression of an infinite truth that is moving through our mind, and it's not magic. So if we want to create the lives we would like to create, which is our prerogative, there's nothing magic about it. We just need to allow ourselves to be in alignment with the infinite spiritual truth. But maybe we should call spiritual truth magic, because in some ways, doesn't that feel good to know that, oh, there's that thing within each and every one of us, that magical aspect of being that is within each and every one of us. And as we align ourselves more and more and more with it, life gets better. Life gets better. And it asks this question, an interesting question right at the end of the song. Have you been fast asleep? And have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. There is a knower, K-O-W-K-N. K-N-O-W-E-R, a knower, not a knower, a knower, that is within each and every one of us. Sometimes we mistake that knowingness for something else. We have this inner voice. And sometimes we call it imagination. Sometimes we call it inspiration. Sometimes we call it instinct. But here's what I like to know, is that when I'm totally rooted in my sense of spiritual truth, when I am absolutely in alignment with the divine flow, that knowingness, that knower within is intuition. And it is always guiding me in perfect harmony with the way I would like my life to be. And that's why not every thought we have, not every single thought we have creates, because sometimes those thoughts pop into our mind and they're not in alignment with the deeper knowingness within each and every one of us. The deeper knowingness, that intuitive knowingness, is always going to create. Always, always, always. So part of the process, part of the action of practicality in spiritual practice is to absolutely address that which is below the level of our active knowingness, because that's the thing that's always, always churning out the expression of our lives. What is this inner voice calling us to be? That's the big question that I have today. What is this inner voice calling us to be? It is that thing that is causing us to seek. And the thing that is causing us to seek is that which we have been seeking. Think about that. Someday we'll find it. The rainbow connection. This month is all about creation. This month is all about cultivating creativity, that creative spirit at the core of our hearts. And so here's what I would like to start with is, even though I've been talking now for 10 minutes, here's what I would like to start with is this question. What does it mean to be creative? Thinking, okay?
Being able to manifest what's in our
Being able to manifest what's in our thoughts. Okay. Allowing. Okay. Any other thoughts on what does it mean to be creative? To be in the flow. Curiosity. Openness. Feeling. Ooh, you've hit a good one for me. Yeah. But there's something, you just said be in the flow. Be in the flow. That's what it means to be creative to you. Yes? Are we creative when we're not in the flow? Yes. Yes we are, right? So where do you want to be in the process of creation? Do you want to be in the flow or working against the flow? Right? Because we're always creative. We are creative 100% of the time. Do you believe that you are creative? Yes. Yes. Do you believe that you are artistic? Yes. Not autistic, artistic. But if both, totally fine. Because sometimes I think we get confused between the concept of artistry and creativity. We think that artistry is the only way to express creativity, and it's not. Living a great life, whether you are an artist of some sort, is a creative way of being. We are constantly creating. So, I think that even within that, each and every one of us are artists. Whether you actively engage in artistic endeavors or what we consider to be artistic endeavors, each and every one of us are artists. An artist is a person who practices any of the various creative arts. Now, most people will go to arts, right? Oh, I'm going to be a painter, I'm going to be a sculptor, I'm going to be a singer, I'm going to be a dancer, I'm going to be involved in the arts. But I don't think that arts is the word that we should be looking at. We should be looking at the word creative. We are each of us artists because each and every one of us is creative. All thought is creative, therefore you are creative. So now that we've established that you are an artist, I would like to bring up this idea. Every artist, Emerson says, was at first an amateur. Early in the study of New Thought, I had to work to make things happen. Now, those of you who may have been in this philosophy for a while may be able to recall back to those days, those early days when Caressa and I also were in practitioner studies together. Back in the early days of practitioner studies, and even like the prerequisite courses to becoming a practitioner of this philosophy, one of the first things you learn is the process of prayer, the process of spiritual mind treatment. And the purpose of spiritual mind treatment is allowing an avenue through our own minds by which something in the world of form may happen. And so, we learn a method of prayer, 5 steps, and we believe we are the ones doing the creating, and so we work at it, right? And the first thing we learn, what's the first thing we learn, Caressa?
So many of them.
Right? Well, the one that always comes to mind for me is we learn how to create parking spaces.
Oh, yeah.
Especially because we were in LA, parking is at a premium in Los Angeles, so you learn how to create a parking space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so it is. Right? And they're like, oh, I've got this parking space thing down. Good. Now I can move on to the next thing. I want more money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so it is. I want better relationships. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so it is. I'm saying counting to 5 because there are 5 steps of spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer. But here's what can happen sometimes is we can work so hard and we're working at it and we're working at it and we're working at it that actually what we're doing is we're coercing the law into doing something for us. And the minute we let go of that coercion, because it's not in alignment with the infinite flow of truth at the core of our being, then whatever we have created dissipates. So I found it very easy to create money in my life. And I would hold on to it. I was like, I've got money. I'm going to make money, right? And the minute that I'm like, and I go back to that place of alignment where I had an inner belief at one time in my life that it was a good thing. It was a lovely thing to live in poverty. So that was a core belief that I held for a while. I held the core belief of being a starving artist, a starving actor. And so what do I experience? I experience the life of being a starving actor. When I can't maintain the things that I have created, I may have become a critical thinker in my life, a critic in my own life. I begin to think, oh, this new thought stuff, this science of mind stuff, it doesn't work. Because I created it, but where did it go? I let that inner critic sabotage my good rather than going to that place of deeper understanding and knowing that I, at the core of my being, am the one who is always, always flowing forth in creation. Because what I was focused on was the stuff out there and not that which is in here. And so that's the next step. That's the next step. It's not about the stuff out there. It's about the fundamental premise of who I am right here, right here. You know, I say all the time that the stuff out there is just that, it's stuff. It is the effect of a causative mind. And it reflects in exacting perfection my consciousness, my beliefs. So early on, I learned that I was the creator of my life. At least so I thought. I thought I was creating it, but I'm not. I wasn't creating it. I was in co-creation process with the infinite. And the more I've embodied that idea and approached it from a point of view of love, that's when the stuff out there begins to show up and stay. I wasn't always like this. I wasn't always this magnificent spiritual being you see before you. Trust me, if you think I'm on a pedestal, knock me off of it real fast. In 2003, I worked on a production of a musical called Cabaret. You saw that, didn't you? Yeah. Does anyone here know that show? Yeah, Cabaret, right? In this production, I played Bobby. Do you know the character of Bobby? You probably don't. It's a pretty minor role. And so Bobby in the show is one of the Kit Kat boys. He's one of the dancers, right? And there's a very brief scene where Bobby comes and he puts the moves on Cliff, and you find out that they've actually had an affair. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. It was also at this time is the only time in my life that I have tried or ever will try to be platinum blonde. Not a good look for me. So Bobby, this character was, okay, so just gonna put it out there. Bobby was a male prostitute with a love of cocaine and gin. Clearly this was typecasting. And this production was very involved. Well, I'll tell you, the rehearsal process for this production, we really got into it. We had a lot of fun playing out this other life, right? One of the things that we would do as part of the show is we would have what they call a green show. And you know what a green show is. A green show in theater is basically where before the curtain, the characters from the play interact with the audience. And so because it takes place in the Kit Kat Club, a cabaret in 1920s, 1930s Berlin, we would come out as the entertainment. And because I was a prostitute who loved gin and cocaine, one of the things that I would work to is get my fix and find people in the audience that would spank me. We would mingle in the lobby in character, and I would work very hard going around, putting the moves on people and, asking them to spank me because, well, I wasn't going to invite them in the back because that would have been maybe a step too far. So, but since my character was a prostitute, I will leave to your imaginations the type of conversations that I would have with the patrons of the theater. I will tell you I was quite surprised at the number of purportedly straight men who were there on dates with women who were really actively excited to spank me. What does all of this mean? It's like, what? Where's he going with this? Here's where I'm going with this. I was absolutely out of my comfort zone. I was absolutely out of my comfort zone in that experience. But here's what I came to, and the point of this really is this, that I would begin each show with this mantra. It's all about the experience. It's all about the experience. Just because I temporarily lived this life on stage does not mean that I had to carry it home with me and live it in any other aspect of my life. It's all about the experience. Remembering that experience is so much fun. At the age of 30, because it's 16 years ago, at the age of 30, I was truly able to just absolutely abandon all inhibitions and experience life from the point of view of the character in a very different way. I mean, let's face it. The whole point of the show, well, part of the point of the show is to ask this very question: what good is sitting alone in your room? Right? I think that's part of the reason that I wanted to be an actor in the first place, because I had this artistic drive within me. And that was a creative outlet for this artistic drive. I wanted to live a life that I thought was exciting. And what I have come to realize since then is that I don't actively need that to live an exciting life. It is a great tool, and I look forward to the day when I go back to utilizing that tool to engage some excitement in my life. But this is so much more exciting for me now, in so many ways. That excitement, what I realize now, is that it's all my choice, because it is all in alignment with that inner knower, that inner intuitive knower within, that is always creating. Cabaret was a great experiment for me. I was challenged, I rose to the occasion, and I learned from that experience that it is indeed all about the experience. So to what degree are you actively engaged in experiencing your own life as a creator? And what holds you back? What holds you back? Fear. All right, so on that topic, do you mind telling everyone what you told me this morning? Yeah, okay. Anita's going to, I said, oh.
Okay. I was telling Jonathan how excited I am to be singing here, because at our last center, I started off in fear. There were two women there, one of whom is a semi-professional. She now has a CD, and her music is played on Empower Radio. And someone else who, like the first person, has a diva voice. I do not have a diva voice. I have a pure, clear, madrigals blend-in voice. I'm not a diva. So I started off feeling inadequate, like I shouldn't sing here because I'm not as good as they are. I don't have that voice, so I'm not as good. So what ended up happening was that over time, I got more self-conscious, which made me feel like I wasn't singing as well, which made me more self-conscious. And I eventually developed crippling stage fright about singing in front of anybody. So what I figured out this morning is I have no competition here yet.
Ever.
I'm it. So for now, there's no one for me to be intimidated by who's gotten up there and sung better than I have first. It's all me right now. So I feel I'm very much within my comfort zone doing this. And as we grow and other people come in and sing, have the diva voice that I don't, I'm affirming that by then I will be so comfortable doing this that it won't make any difference to me. But I created this whole downward spiral and crashed at this other place out of fear.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's super easy to let fear be the creator in our lives. I let fear be a creator in my life too at various points. There were times when I wanted to give up the path to ministry because I was letting fear overtake me. But I can't imagine myself now doing anything else. And it's because what I chose to do is exactly what Anita has done, which is to say, I know who I am. I'm going to be the conscious creator of my life. Here's the deal. You being here, you being in this environment is no mistake. You attracted this because this is something that is at the core of your soul to be done. Now, I'm going to encourage you to get rid of the yet.
Oh, I said yeah, not yet. I said yeah.
Oh, there was a point at which you said yet. Yes, when you said there's no competition yet. There is never any competition in God. Ever. There is only you and your expression, your magnificent expression as God.
Can I add one more thing? To my
Please, yeah.
Okay, so the other piece of this, that's the underlying part that has gotten me to where I am in my life, is when I was starting my second divorce, I focused very heavily on a future, on having a life, generating the presence of a life where I was in an extraordinary relationship and I had a spiritual family and a place where I could sing. I was very clear about this. And that's been a driving force for a long time.
Yeah. It sucks when you have to go through what you go through to get to where you want to get.
No, it's all good.
It is all good. But in the experience of it, it can feel really sucky.
Yeah.
Right? But that's it. It's all about the experience. The flow of life, the flow of being a creator, is not always in a positive way, but it's always going to be for our highest and best good. So we can be the critic and remove ourselves from the active process of creation and just allow life to show up willy-nilly. We can be an active creator. We can also be a critical creator, which is what I would say happened there. I have my sense of self being not criticized by anything out there, but by going into that inner critic in my own mind. I could very easily have not given the magnificent performance as Bobby that I gave had I gone into that place of being an inner critic and letting the critical creator hinder the flow. This is a great lesson for each and every one of us. I think it is time for each and every one of us to let go of being a critical creator and always acting out of reaction and acting from proaction and becoming a conscious creator of what we would like to experience. And the way we do that is by engaging the practical tools. Can you trust and believe that?
Yes.
Can you live your entire life that way? I'm talking all of it. Is there any hesitation in your mind right in this moment?
Yes.
Check in with that. There I see no's, I see yeses. Just check in with that. Check in with that. Life is about living. Huh. Right? Life is about living. There is no destination. You know, early on I was like, oh, I'm going to be a minister. That's going to be the destination. And then I become licensed as a minister and I'm like, oh, this is just the beginning. There is no destination. There is only the continued flow of experience. There is no predetermination. We get to create our lives in exactly the way we would like to create our lives. It's all about the expression, the experience, and evolution of the divine, which is each and every one of us, the energetic, creative core of each and every one of us. So on Wednesday, Carrie took us through, those of us who were here for Wednesday meditation, took us through a guidance to having a conversation with our inner mentor. It was wonderful. Do you mind if I tell them a little bit about what happens? So we go on a journey in a meditative state, and as part of the journey, we project ourselves 20 years into the future, and 20 years in the future, we meet ourselves with that age, but ourselves now with the age of 20 years. Am I explaining it okay? Yeah, it's kind of... You're meeting yourself in 20 years, and you're allowing yourself to have a conversation and an experience with your 20-year-older self. And that 20-year-older self has a message. And you have the full capacity to listen to the message and take it or reject it, frankly. But I'll tell you, I got something. And it actually harkens back to a time in my life where I was able to coordinate ministry and the expression of spirit with artistry and my life as an actor and a singer. And that's the thing that I feel like I'm really missing now. I love ministry, but I think it's time for me to take this ministry in a direction that allows that type of artistry to come through. And that's what my mentor was telling me. You need to bring the creative arts more into this thing called ministry. And so there are going to be some shifts and changes. And I'm so excited because I've got some ideas in mind about what I would like to present as part of this community's spiritual experience. Number one, I have to look at the calendar, but I'm going to revitalize a workshop, and I'm going to put it out there for free. But I'm going to revitalize a workshop called Discovering Your Undiscovered Genius. Oh, so the other thing is your mentor gives you a gift. It was a very interesting gift. My mentor gave me a Tony Award. I welcome that. Not that I need the accolades, because here's the thing, I know who I am, and the accolades are lovely, and I've won awards, and I have had nominations for awards. In fact, Elizabeth Rex, I was nominated for an award for Elizabeth Rex for doing sound design. Yeah. You threw me off for a second there. It's okay. But one of the things that I'm looking forward to is offering this Discovering Your Undiscovered Genius workshop, and it's finding your authentic self through theater. Through the skills that we learn as theater artists when we learn skills as theater artists. But it's all about not the character, but finding yourself and bringing your authentic self to the surface and the core of your beingness and your expression in life. We're also going to do a thing, I've talked about it before, called Sing It Up, which is a community chorus, a community sing event. I'm working on, I've talked to Nadia, who is looking like she's going to play guitar for that event, and we'll work that. Just keep an eye out for those details. Anyway, I've gotten off track telling you all the things I want to do. Here's the deal. I said it's all about expression, experience, and evolution of the divine. You get to make the choice. 100% of the time, you get to make the choice about what that expression is for you. Ernest Holmes wrote this: every act in the life of the individual is such that an individual may express himself. Our entire purpose for being here now is to express ourselves. So in what way are you going to express yourself today? I have a call to each and every one of you today. Try something new this week. Try something new. Try something that you maybe have thought about, maybe something that's like, I'd like to do that someday. Go out and do it this week. Try something new. Break through the confines of your comfort zone and see what is on the other side of that limitation. If you find yourself making excuses, I am the king of making excuses, rethink the excuse, feel the fear, and do it anyway. Do it anyway. You are the person who gets to be the conscious creator of your life. That is an inherent truth that we all can carry with us from this time and this place. And here's the good news. Now that you know, you can't not know. Namaste. I'm going to invite Anita to come up, and we're going to concretize this right here and right now with these words of infinite truth. Oh, I don't sing on this. You sing on this. She's going to let her diva voice shine forth.
This is a chant by Eddie Watkins. Some of you may know it already, and the words are very, very easy, so join in when you're ready.
They're also in your handout.
They're in your handout, yes.
Right here and right now, with these words of truth.
God is, I am, right here, right now, right here, right now.
Just taking it in, just taking in that energy. Yeah. You are a diva, and you have a diva voice. I'm going to invite you to take out whatever it is you're offering the center today. Your gift, your investment, your contribution, your tithe, whatever you choose to call it, it is the energy of sharing and sharing love. Tucson New Thought is a community that is supported entirely through your generosity. And so we have options for giving. You can give by cash or check. If you fill out a form, you can get a tax deduction. So if you fill out the form in its entirety, we'll make sure that that gets noted. If you've filled one out before, you don't need to fill it out again as long as I know your name. You can also give by credit card. There are credit card forms to fill out. And you can give online. If you're watching us online, if you're experiencing this gathering today online, I encourage you to take a look at that link in the description field and participate in conscious giving right here with us. I honor your commitment to the vision and mission of this center, and I'm grateful for your support. So let's read together the divine givingness statement, which is inside our programs. Some of us may have this memorized. Here we go. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that spirit is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of my spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so as William takes this around, I'm going to put my pebble in there. A pebble representing that we are pre-authorized contributors, that we give online and have a regular contribution taken from our, I want to let you know some things that are continuing to happen right here Wednesdays. Every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. we continue to have our weekly meditation practice, and Caramel was so magnificent last week, I may ask her to do it again. You know, why not? Or it may be me, or maybe you never know. But show up. It's so great, right? Yeah. The other thing is there are some flyers out on the table there that say, knowledge is power. Are you at risk for cancer? Dr. Shira Bush, who was here last week and is a member of our community, is offering the opportunity for those of you who are seniors on Medicare to receive some genetic testing. It's a cheek swab. It's not anything more than that. To see if you have a predisposition to hereditary cancers or potential medical interactions. We're offering that here. If you have a Medicare card, it is free of charge to you because Medicare covers that. So we're doing that next Sunday, immediately following the service. To participate in that, all you would need to do is bring a valid picture ID and your Medicare card, and you can find out. Here's the thing, knowledge is power. And as Dr. Bruce Lipton says, even if we have a genetic predisposition to something, it does not mean that we need to have that experience. So if you find out through this process that you have a genetic predisposition to cancer, it does not mean that you're going to experience cancer, because it's all in the mind. And that's what we teach. So come find out. We do have prayer request forms that are on the table over there, and a beautiful Tom Lasley box that you can put your prayer requests into. And if you would like a response to let you know that your prayer request was complete, you can just put your name and email, and you will get a response that lets you know when it was complete. We also have postcards for our Sacred Journey, which is coming up in November. I would love to say you can be part of this. You can be a participant in the Sacred Journey, but we also would like people who are from out of town to participate in the Sacred Journey. And it's an opportunity to experience workshops and experiences right here in the Sonoran Desert that will deepen you into your sense of oneness. Fourth Sunday potluck, as always, so have that in mind. We had a very small but mighty group last Sunday, and we had lots of leftovers, which I was grateful to eat during the week. But here's one thing I want to say. If you do show up on a fourth Sunday and you haven't brought anything, that actually is okay, because there was plenty of food, and we need people to eat it. So show up for Fourth Sunday potluck. And finally, our Conscious Coffee Connection, which is the online forum and conversation that I have with Reverend Steph St. Amand and the community that shows up through web conferencing technology. The next one is on May 21st, and all of that information is in your program and online as well. William, if you would please. just taking this moment of reflection and understanding to know that right here, what has been collected in this is an expression of divine energy, divine love, for there is nothing but this divine energy and this divine love. And so it is in perfect flow right here and right now that what is collected here is good and blesses this center and the experience of this community. And I know that it is utilized and used with the deepest integrity, the deepest love, and for the highest purpose of this community. So in gratitude, I simply say thank you. I let it be as I release this word, knowing it is so, as together we say, and so it is. Thank you for that. I want to say thank you to Aiden, our technical support. I want to say thank you to William and Anita for our hospitality today, bringing our hospitality. So enjoy. We've got coffee, but also enjoy the beautiful snacks that they've brought. I want to say thank you to Carrymon for being prepared in the event that we had youth show up today, because this is the first day that we have said that we'll have a youth program available. And while we had no youth today, I encourage you to let your friends know who may want to experience this but have kids and feel like they can't be here on a Sunday, that at least on the first Sunday of every month, they can be here and we will have a youth program available for them. I want to say thank you to Anita for letting your diva voice shine through. Yes, yes. And I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for being present here and enjoying and lifting me up, frankly, because it's all about me. Think if there's anything else. Anything else? Anyone? Any questions? No, let's end the day with love is my decision. Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God as me knows how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God as me knows how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God as me knows how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God as my decision right here and now. My decision right here and now. Have a great week, everyone. Thanks for being here.